All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another show of the Fifth Umpire's live YouTube show. And today is the final game of the Super Fours. We know that this game is not that consequential, but still, it's India taking on Bangladesh. I have Rohan with me. Welcome, Rohan, to the show once again. It's not the first time we are meeting in a live show, but let's talk about this game. It's not that important for Team India, but how do you see this game in terms of opportunities for the bench strength of Team India, especially.
Yeah, I mean, not important in the sense of the Asia Cup, you can say, but overall, leading up to the World Cup, every game is important. I mean, we were in the assumption that it may rain and a lot of these games may be washed out, but luckily rain has stayed away and giving opportunity to everyone who are playing there. I think today, as you said, we may see a few changes here and there to get more tested to the other 15-member squad. Hope someone like Shreyas is fit and available to play because he was actually a first starter. I mean, his injury is what paved the return to KL, and he
Yeah,
grabbed the opportunity with both his hands, you can say. So it's good that people, when they get a chance, are making use of it
yeah,
to the best of their abilities. So
correct.
let's see if Shreyas comes back because he's a one of the, if not the best player of spin in terms of these kind of slow low wickets. So having Shreyas there, fit and available to play, leading into the World Cup, where certain pitches may offer slightly these two-paced pitches, I think he'll be a more key batter than on the slightly what do you call little assistance to the bowlers. That may be a Achilles heel to him, but someone like a Bangladeshi attack with Shakib and all those left arm spinners. I think we saw that in one of the test matches in Bangladesh where he and Ashwin
Yeah.
got us over the line. So that shows the pedigree that he has to play spin. So Shreyas will be a person to be more watched out for today.
Yeah, that's the reason why he's been given the number four role because he plays spin really well, and if he can keep himself fit, that is the concern over the past couple of years. And like you said, he missed out in KL Rao, Pakistan. It was a high voltage game. He grabbed with both hands 100, and then he's looking good behind the stumps as well, turning out to be a new combination with the spinner, especially Jaddu and Kuldeep, getting a lot of communications. We'll come to that. Let's start
Yeah.
our proceedings for today. It's India and Bangladesh as predicted for both of us. Um, Before we move on to this game, let's take back to yesterday, the
Okay.
decider, Rohan. How what a game this was, nail
Exactly.
biter. To be honest, sitting on our couches, being a neutral fan. To be honest,
And
Rohan,
one
where were you?
late at night.
Yeah, late at night to the next day. So it
Yeah.
was started yesterday and ended the next day once again. To be very frank, Rohan, being on the neutral side, also I was getting goosebumps in the last
Yeah.
over, especially. But where were you heading to? Did you want an India Sri Lanka or did you want an Indian Pakistan?
I was okay with any man. I mean, both teams have their own challenges that they present. I mean, we saw with Sri Lanka the kind of spinners they have, the knowledge about the local home conditions that offers a different challenge, and of course the crowd support they have, which will be a very huge factor in the finals as well. Pakistan, we know always, man. I mean, doesn't matter where you play, even on the moon, if you go and play, it will be a high voltage clash. So that's another different pressure altogether. Why I'm saying is, leading into the World Cup, you want to play these kind of games to really test yourself out rather than these easy victories or something where you close the game. It's very
Yeah,
close, kinds of brings a team effort to win. I mean, even a small contribution from an individual player that has a impact on the game, right? So that's where you want players to step up, not one or two guys who bring up these match winning performances, but little contributions go a long way. So I think that's the kind of performance we are seeing. As the tournament has gone, we are seeing actually Team India peak. I mean, they started off with some
correct.
jitters. We saw some misfields, catches dropped. There was some inconsistency in the bowling, also the extras. But as you see, as the game progressed, everyone is warming up. You can say nicely to the lead up to the World Cup. That is what we want. As the big games come, you want all your players in form, in and peak fitness. Importantly, so all these league games is one thing. The pressure of a final, it's like a dress rehearsal for us for a World Cup. You can say if you do well in the Asia Cup, that gives immense confidence, not just to players as fans as well. The belief keeps growing up, right? So end of the day, when the World Cup starts, you want to give that positive vibe to the team, make them, you should feel like even your contribution to the team is some 1% to help them win, right? So that gives us more energy to keep on cheering. I think that's what we want to see. I mean, yesterday's
Yeah,
game overall, feel sad for that guy, Zaman Khan. On debut,
yeah,
wonderful last over. I mean, I've seen him ball in the other T20 leagues and all, where he does this same job of bowling at the end. He's a
yeah.
brilliant
At the
guy,
death, yeah.
but hard luck outside edges you can't help, and adding on all those misfields and overthrows, I think just compounded Pakistan's luck, you can say.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Zaman Khan has been pretty impressive in the T20 formats. He is a master of the death overs. We have seen in the Canada leagues, we have seen in the
Yeah,
PSL especially. He bowls really well, those kind of things. So 8 runs were quite less, but yes, you that's not in your hands. Two of six balls, he did pretty well in the first four deliveries, but an outside edge. But I want to, as you said about yesterday's game in the last over, I want to have a very frank opinion from you. How impressed are you or not impressed are you with the captaincy of what Babar Azam is doing for Pakistan?
see, I always believe captain is as good as his team, and whatever resources he has, that's how you can look. I mean, Babar has the luxury of those three quality fast bowlers. When they are operating, you don't have to do much. For him, his real test is when his fourth and fifth bowlers come through. Shadab Khan, Nawaz, or the other guy who was bowling the Iftikhar. And, that's where your smartness comes. If you see someone like a MS, I mean that's a huge comparison. He was not blessed with so much resources. You saw him how well he utilized someone like a Rena, UV. All those overs used to just sneak through as soon as a new batsman came in, or at the right time, just to get through the overs, keep
Yeah,
the main bowlers overs in bank towards the end. I mean, that's what smartness is. Even Rohit is doing it pretty well. The matchups, bringing in the right bowler at the right time. I mean, those short spell of Hardik. I mean, he didn't pick up. I think just got one wicket, but those 5 overs for just 15 odd runs. That was actually a very telling blow the other day versus Sri Lanka, bowling those bouncers, keeping that aggression going. Even when Kuldeep or Jadot was keeping it tight and looking like picking a wicket, Hardik kept it equally tight, and I think that what resulted in those wickets. So that's what I'm saying. Captaincy is when you know when to use those resources and how well. Babar looked a little bit lost, and I don't see much support for him. I mean, a wicketkeeper like a Rizwan, who is pretty smart, he does for Multan, I think, in PSL. We've seen him being pretty innovative and very vocal in the his communication. Yesterday, apart from his appealing, there was not much communication I honestly saw with Babar. Even that
throughout the
last
Asia
ball,
Cup, to be honest, throughout
yeah,
the
yeah,
Asia
sure.
Cup, he hasn't been that like that.
Yeah, not much. And even that last ball, I think Babar wanted the field to be in a different way, and Rizwan shifted here and there. I think that's where the ball went through also. So that shows there is some lack of communication or trust issues, maybe. Always been with Pakistan, you don't never know the internal stuff that keeps going on there. But Babar, I think he needs at least some management people there who are sitting on the outside to give him a better assistance, maybe, because individually his communication or lack of it is showing up in terms of on-field performance as well. Not
Yeah,
I'm not even talking with the bat.
correct. He's a good batsman. I'm not going to compare him with the greats, but he's a decent batsman. He has not been scoring runs. That's where the comparison comes that you're scoring a 150 plus against Nepal, but you're not being able to score in big games. That's different. That's up to them. But he's very defensive captain.
Yeah,
That's where the concern lies. You're having one of the you are terming as one of the best bowling attacks in for you, but you're very defensive when you have new batsmen come, and I generally don't see slip fielders coming on an attacking field. That's where you define yourself as a captain. You
yeah,
have to be attacking. You have to take risks. But he doesn't. He always wants to play safe game. That's we witnessed from the first game in the Super Fours when Hardik and Ishan Kishan was building a partnership. You had to bowl one of your pacers all out, but he didn't. So that's where I think he's not good enough. But as you said, they do not have much of an option. They either can go to Rizwan. Similarly, Shadab Khan not using his brains. He's not bowling well as a bowler as well. And I was listening to a few of the Pakistan journalists saying that Shadab Khan is playing because of his name. Usama Mir has been pretty impressive
yeah.
in with his leg spin, but he has been kept aside because of Shadab Khan because he's the vice captain and because of his name. So this is a bit unfair, I would say, but still, that's the reason why they are not anymore in the Asia Cup because the better team won. I would say the better team won, and
Agree.
also they had lots and lots of support. Sri Lanka. 252 in 42 overs is not a joke. It's really a big task, and they got off to a flyer. Then Kushal
Yeah,
Mendes played really good innings, so they kept building partnerships. And like in the tail end, we thought that they will collapse. They threw away wickets, and we were like, "What are they doing?" But eventually, they got over the line. It's going to be a cracker of a game on Sunday, I think.
yeah,
Because we have a challenge in our hand. We have defeated them in a low scoring game, but still they have a good team and they're going to play against the 12th man. Probably Tikshana's cramp is a question mark, but
yeah.
still we have to see. They're a quality side. Yes, Ron.
Yeah, Tikshana, I think his fitness is still to be seen, right? I think not sure if he's available or not. I think
Yeah,
hamstring is what we are hearing.
hamstring. Yeah, yeah,
So that'll take time to heal. But as you said, it'll be a cracker of a game with the partisan crowd in the stands. I'm not seeing those bugles still going on, but the music definitely is loud there. So that'll keep the vibe going on for the Sri Lankan team. But in the final, I feel it's all about pressure, man. Any final, you know, the key movements, how well you cope up with it, that's why will be the defining portion for me. All this crowd support, etc. Even if the same thing happens when the World Cup's here in India, but at that key moment, who holds the nerve, who is cool and calm, that's the team that will come out on top. So all those things will be only in the middle phase of the game where the crowd can take over. But you can know, I mean, if for example India start taking wickets or something, the crowd will be silent. You can shut the
yeah,
crowd off, so the noise won't be there. So that's how you can kind of shut off the crowd also. That will be a point of thing that India can do, focus on their own game. But Sri Lanka, as you said, were the better team yesterday. Pakistan under pressure, as you said, captaincy was there, the fielding was down, but overall the sad state of Pakistan cricket, to be honest, I have doubts. I mean, apart from this main starting 11, the who are coming in the bench strength, if you can call that, they're not good enough to win you games on their own. They're all their support kind of acts. Even Shadab,
correct.
I think I was hearing Wasim Akram. He has not played any first class cricket also, right? Only these T20 white
Yeah,
ball
he
cricket is
hasn't.
what he has played.
Yeah,
I think that
correct.
shows. I mean, your what do you call stamina to keep on bowling at the same spot. He was doing a lot of what do you call experimentation with his line and length. He was not sticking onto the consistency line. Same thing used to
Correct.
happen with someone like Chahal. He used to get bored at times, try something loopy leggies or not. I think he's going to play. I think he's playing county right now.
He's
You can
currently
see that
playing
when
county.
you
He's
play
bowling
more
really
red ball.
well.
Yes, I
He's
think he got
bowling really
2
well.
wickets.
He's picked up a lot of wickets, but he's bowling really well.
That's what, when you play red ball cricket also, it helps your white ball skills, uh, especially on these wickets where there is some assistance to spinners keeping it tight. So you can learn someone like Velalage, young guy. He's just bowling wicket to wicket, odd one turns, one comes on with the arm. He has learned it. So these experienced guys need to learn something from what a local guy is doing. If they can do
Yeah.
that, they'll improve their own skill sets, especially those pitches, how well they can adapt. That's very equally important for them to succeed. I hope India can come up the better ones on Sunday.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed for that. Let's move on to today's agenda. Talking about the weather, I think today's weather is clear. It's good. Fingers crossed. We hope that we'll have a full game. There's no rain predicted today, but you may never know. But the ground staffs, your just a few words on the ground staff. How brilliant job they are doing, man.
For me, the player of the series already, man. No, no
Yeah, absolutely.
question on that. I mean, covering that such huge stadium with completely with your covers and the manpower required. That's one thing you get a lot in Sri Lanka, and making sure the game starts as soon as the rain stops within few minutes.
Exactly.
Again, a commendable job by the groundsman, everyone included. So great stuff. I think they deserve something extra from the ACC or the Sri Lankan Cricket Board for sure, because without their work, I think the tournament would not have been such a success that's been so far. I mean, excellent games, close games, big ticket games haven't happened, though there was a reserve day and all, 2 days to keep on working at in the rain. So that's where I think their hard work is showing off, and not to add the revenue that it generated. So
Yeah.
little bit contribution they do deserve, I feel. So great work as usual from the Sri Lankan groundsman. Big shout out to them.
Absolutely, and that's the reason. And they, like you said, they are doing it as soon as the rain stops. They're covering up or taking off the covers. They're so fast. That's the good thing. They're covering the ground as soon as possible, and we could see from the studio as well. It's behind the studio as well.
Yeah.
They're taking out the crowd covers. So I think it's minimum 50 people working together. So it's so good, and that's wonderful to see that. Talking about this agenda, that is in the Colombo, we had already 4 games. We rather 5 games, and tomorrow is the last. Today is the last game. Um, like yes, Priyam like said, especially the whole ground, the groundsmen are covering. That's
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Rohan, what do you think? Like we have seen two tosses where the team has won the toss and elected to bowl and eventually lost the game. And the last 2 games, the team has won the toss and elected to bat, where India won against Sri Lanka while Pakistan couldn't defend yesterday. So, what is the agenda you think? If there is no rain, win the toss and bat first straight away?
See, it will be the same pitch that was used yesterday. It will be two back-to-back games. So ideally, the pitch will be a slightly slower side. So teams will love to bat first because chasing will be a tougher task. But India has always batted first this tournament. I would like them to chase to get a feel of the wicket under lights, how they have to play against Sri Lanka in case they have to chase. So keep that also in mind will be a better option, I feel. So ideally, just lose the toss and let Bangladesh do it, man. That will be the best thing for us. But I'm saying so that it's a preparation for us, right? I mean, even the starting couple of matches, Rohit hinted they wanted to play the tougher thing first. I mean, even in Pallakele, when everybody thought rain around the corner, teams will definitely bowl first. Rohit went in and batted. I mean, that shows some different kind of thought process. Appreciate that kind of thing from the Indian management is what I feel. I sincerely hope today if we can get a chase thing, it will be a good test out for everybody there. Under pressure, I mean, Bangladesh will definitely come hard at us. But in case we have to bat first, can't help it, man. Just go with the flow and try and wrap up a bigger win. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said about Babar Azam and his captaincy throughout the Asia Cup, was he lost in the toss as well? Because yesterday it was a rain-affected game. It was 45 overs, and then we had the toss and etc. And like this, Priyam is saying that win the toss and bowling can be a good option. Didn't know why Pakistan chose to bat first yesterday. Just like Dasun Shanaka wanted to chase because the rain-affected game and it looked like it will rain again, just like it turned out to be a 42-over game as the rain happened, and after that, batting looked so easy. To be honest, the spin even decreased so much. So, do you think that could be seen if there is any rain interruption today or in the finals?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Duckworth Lewis will be a huge factor if the overs get lost. And with some wetness in the outfield, the ball will not grip as much. The ball will slide onto the bat, so run scoring will be easier. So that will be a factor which both teams will consider when they win the toss. But if it stays dry and if the pitch starts deteriorating, we do know at Premadasa, chasing always historically has been a huge question marks. Especially 250
Yeah,
onwards,
that's
it's
correct.
tough. Yesterday, because of the rain and cooler climes of the atmosphere, I think that's where Sri Lanka got a bit lucky, to be honest. Or else, at a gun full strength Pakistan team and the pitch was drier, I would have doubted if Sri Lanka would have got through there.
Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. And then we move on. We move on. So we are expecting win the toss, bat first, or win the toss, bowl first, as per situation. This is the 3 key players we have predicted from our end. Uh, we'll start with India. The man on the picture, the China man. How impressive has he been in the Asia Cup, Rohan?
And already, I think the top wicket taker. We have
Probably
seen,
yes. Yeah.
yeah, I think we have seen the difference in his run up, the action, the amount of revs he's putting on the ball, and he's a bit more calmer nowadays. Is what I feel. Previously, he used to get a bit worried if a couple of overs didn't go right. You can see that calmness and belief in his ability on what he has worked upon at the NCA, and his fitness also is improved. The only thing I'll say is hope he bats a bit more better, man. I think he has the potential, but bowling wise, he's been landing it just the right areas. I think the other day when who was that? Samara Vikrama and the other guy were batting.
Yeah.
He was bowling very straight at the stumps, and the spin was allowing them to work it on the leg side. As soon as the talk happened with KL, he shifted his line slightly outside off stump. The drift helped him to get that wicket of Samara Vikrama. I think that's where the was one of the turning points. I think that's what led India started to dominate from there on. Or else the partnership was slightly taking it towards
It
SL
was
that
it
time.
was very nervous. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kuldeep has been really impressive, man. I just hope he'll be one of the. He's actually been unsung, leading into the Asia Cup. Everybody was looking forward to Jussie's return. But Kuldeep has equally done well even in the West Indies series. He was bowling well, getting enough purchase on the ball there. But Asia Cup, I think, because of assistance of the wickets also, he has got those 5 against Pakistan was very very impressive. 4 against SL2. I think these pitches and this confidence will help him a lot leading into the World Cup because he'll be our main spinner. Because Charles and there is close buddy, so he and Jaddo will be the guys in the middle overs who should be looking to pick up wickets. I think mid overs are very key um, place where you need to start getting hold of the game, man. I mean, everybody looks at the power play or the death overs, but mid overs, if you're dominating, that will be game set match there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do not have the Kulcha anymore, but these two, him being the prime spinner, I would be very honest, not Jadeja, but him being the prime lead spinner, I think he has been bowling really well. Is it because of his uh, bowling run up that has been changed or whatever he's doing right? I hope he continues for the next couple of months as well. But Ravindra Jadeja, I think I'll be very honest, he has been good with the ball, but so far this Asia Cup not yet up to the mark with the bat, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's been economical. That's his job always has been. He's bowling stump to stump, little bit of turn. I mean, these pitches when they are drier, if he get to ball when it's hot and humid in the afternoon, his style of bowling is ideal for these pitches, man. One will turn,
Because
one
you get
won't
more
turn.
more grip. Yeah,
Yeah, LBW Bold will be always has been his go-to wicket taking option. He is deadly on these pitches, just like back home here on pitches like a Kotla or somewhere. This guy will rip through the teams, man. If it was a red ball, he would have getting a 5-5 every day. Yeah. But batting has been a bit of a concern. I think ever since that IPL final where he won it. But I feel leading into the World Cup, him and Hardik are the key guys. They inform at key moments, run down the order as well as 1 or 2 wickets here and there. I think these two guys will be the important contributors for Team India going into the World Cup. In case they have to win, these two's form, fitness, everything will be depending on them, is what I feel. So Jaddu, I think, is getting into his groove. Batting maybe some more time in the middle. I wouldn't mind even if he bats a bit higher today, man, against the left arm spinners of Bangladesh. A lefty there, not just Kishan alone. If Jaddu also can share the load a bit, it will be useful for Indian team going forward.
yeah, absolutely. Because we generally have two lefties. I don't think so. We'll look into the bigger picture of Akshay Patel being a part of the playing 11 much. But yes, these are the two lefties I think we will be part of. But KL Rahul, how impressive! Like yes, like we said before, taking the opportunity with both the hands. Do you think he's a fixed number 4 and number 5 going forward? No changes anymore.
No, no, I mean, as you said, he's just come back from injury, so the more he plays, I think he'll get better. Straight away into the high voltage game against Pakistan, literally being informed 5 minutes before to get ready and come back and deliver 100 against that bowling attack. That shows a lot of mental toughness, which he has always been blessed with. But adding on as a keeper too, because his also was a hamstring injury. So
Yeah,
batting may not hamper that much, but definitely keeping squatting over 50 overs up and
50
down
overs.
and against quality spinners, uh, reaching up to the stumps every now and then. So it will take a toll on his fitness in the field. And in case you have to field for 50 overs, then come in and bat, that will be a overburden for him. So this is what, and adding on the weather climes of Sri Lanka, hot and humid, you sweat a lot. So chances of these cramps, etc., will be higher. So if he passes this test, it will be easy for him in the World Cup here in India in slightly cooler winter times, right? So Rahul with the bat has always been exceptional. Him in form at number 4 or 5 is equally important, just like Shreyas, I feel, because he also is a very good player of spin. In our top order, apart from Rohit, I think he's the only guy who really sweeps the spinners a lot.
Yeah,
So generally, opponent spinners like a Zampa, Agar, Rashid generally get away with a few cheap overs against India. If you see bowling to a Virat or Shubman, who are more
correct.
classical batters, they don't employ the sweep a lot. So you can get away with a lot of dots against these guys. But a Rohit, Rahul, or a Shreyas will use their feet, use a sweep shot. So suddenly the over which is going at 2 or 3 will go at 10. Couple of
Yeah.
boundaries will. I think that's where the middle over acceleration will happen. So these guys inform in the team with the roles. If they can deliver day in day out, that'll be huge for Team India. And adding on, his keeping has improved a lot, and he was very calm. If you see even during the reviews, DRS. I think couple of times he told Rohit not to take, but
Not take, but yeah,
the
correct.
Josh
Rohit
at
has
times
taken.
of the bowler and the captain kind of didn't help there. But having a stable keeper, I mean, nobody can replace MS, man. Let's be honest. But trying to be the next best is what I think KL or Rishabh when he comes back, or even Ishan when they do. I think that will help because a good keeper will keep the bowlers and the fielders on their toes. So their role is very very important in a game for us.
Absolutely, because he has that game sense, game understanding, which is very key behind the stumps. Because generally, the experts say that the keeper is the next best captain after the main captain, and that's the reason why I think Rahul has improved that a lot. But looking into the Bangladesh trio, we have Naeem, Taskin, and Hriday. Hriday was the hero
Yeah,
of the last game, but couldn't get his team over the line. But what about Taskin Ahmed? I think he's the lead bowler for
yeah.
Bangladesh. Do you think this trio or this team can, for example, surprise us today?
Tuskin generally does well against India. Goes for the big fishes a lot. Has extra bounce that other Bangladeshi pacers don't generally get. Big tall guy hits the deck well. Just in that corridor of uncertainty, he'll get those outside edges a lot, and he's very strong. You know, he can bowl the 6-7 over spell also, unlike the others. So Tuskin's spell will be very important for us. And nowadays he has learned that kind of a knuckleball kind of slower delivery,
Yeah.
so you can not actually be set that once the ball gets a bit older you can attack him. You need to be careful with the and helping the pitch also, two pace pitches that help those kind of cutters a lot more, so you be little more extra careful against him. So Taskin, hopefully we can play him out.
True that. And so let's move on. Let's move on to the final two slides, and this is the one where it's time for debates and discussions. So for Bangladesh, we have got a news that Mushfiqur Rahim will not be
Yeah.
available for today. So it's going to be this side. Litin Das will straight away take on the gloves. I'll talk about number 6 and 7, Afif Hussain and Shamim Hussain. They are talented, but they're
Mm.
throwing their wickets away too often. Do you see Bangladesh, if they look into the bigger picture of the World Cup, definitely Shanta will be back. Definitely,
Yeah.
Mushfiq will be back. But is that a huge miss of the likes of Mamadullah? How his experience is key. Where is he, and why is he not part of this? Do you think they should consider him for the World Cup as well?
Is he retired?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Okay. Man, he's a huge miss, man. He was a former captain also for them in ODIs. Balls a little bit of off spin, hard hitter down the order, experienced guy who could finish games for them. You know, I think that's a huge miss. These youngsters have to step up into the big shoes of Mahmudullah, I feel. But Afif, I think he's very smart, yeah, with the pa- end overs. He gives that kind of this Najibullah kind of feel for Afghanistan, you know, just comes in, rotates the strike, but can power it also down the order. I think balls a little of left arm spin as well, but not seen much. He's a very smart player. Afif Hussain has not maximized his potential, is what I feel. Shamim too, in the same sense as you said, maybe under pressure, not able to deliver. But one guy I'm really impressed for them is Tawhid Hriday.
Yeah.
Under 19, I think he had a fantastic World Cup there. I think that's where he has graduated from. Huge hopes on him, as I feel. Maybe a potential future captain also I see in him. Very impressive the other day against Pakistan.
Yeah.
Very good knock. Again in Lahore, I think it was when wickets were falling. He put up a good partnership there to get them into decent score at least. But let's see. I mean, they're out of the tournament, man. It's all in the mind for them. How well they're practically in the ground, not just physically. So if they can show their potential, they can challenge us, or else it may be just a kind of a walk in the park for India also.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think Tamim Iqbal, can we see him back in the playing 11 or in the squad for the World Cup? Because they have too many openers in the top three fielding. Like Mehdi Hassan can come back to the middle order back,
Mm.
but when Shanto is back and then Tamim also considered, do you think Tamim with retiring and then coming back to the squad, that politics, we're not going to go into that, but still, do you think he will be part of the World Cup squad?
In generally, World Cups you need experienced players is what I feel always. So Tamim's experience is huge. So as you said, all this political stuff that's happening in the background, I think they may ask him to come back for sure. And whose place it's debatable, but you want to have an experienced guy at the top of the order, man. He's a match winner for them on his own, yeah, especially in subcontinent conditions.
Yeah.
Good to bat on. He can make those big scores and get them off to a good start. Tamim, I feel, should come back for me, definitely. But in his absence, someone like a Mehdi Hassan Miraj, again, he has come very good with the bat. Even the Test series against India, he was one of the very impressive guys. In the ODI series that followed, I think he won a game against
He
us.
won a game, yeah,
Yeah,
by
which
one
was
wicket.
almost done and dusted. Uh, I think he's always been a very good smart spinner. I think last few years, I think his bowling was coming down a little bit, but this batting resurgence, I think, could have helped in his bowling as well. I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mehdi loves playing against India. He's a good
Yeah.
record, so that hopefully he doesn't trouble us much today. But we'll move on to the one which has more debate on is Team India's playing 11. This is my playing 11. I have a few changes out here. Number 10, 11 for sure. The two paces will definitely be rested. I think Shreyas is not fit enough. I think to play today's game. I would rather have him for the Australia series, but uh, if you have to play Shreyas, in place of whom? That's my first question. And what would be your playing 11 for sure? And also, there's a fan question out here. It says that can we see some new faces in the Indian lineup today, or will it be a major change 11 with the maximum lineup being changed? So, do you see the same 11 playing, or will we see more than one or two changes?
We need to think like who will be the 11 for us in the final also. I think it will be the same one that played in Sri Lanka. Then someone like Akshar
Yeah.
Patel will be tested
No, I
out, I
think
feel.
Shardul will be
No, I'm
back for
saying
Akshar.
Akshar, why not for Jaddu? Let Shardul play. Give Jaddu a break. Get Akshar also in.
You're
Give
saying for
him,
today?
yeah, today.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's
So
considered. Then
let
yeah.
Akshar be a support spinner to Kuldeep rather than getting someone like Jaddu. So Jaddu also gets some rest. But only thing is, I don't want him to rest because, as you said, with the bat, he has been still not
Absolutely.
much of runs with him. So if in case all was good, I would have tried that also. But one guy whom I would like to see was you said Iyer. But if he's not playing today, there's no point him getting into the final also directly. Straight away in the Australia series only we'll see him. But you want Shreyas to play because of the Bangladeshi spinners is what I feel. And today
Yeah.
being the second day in a row on the same pitch, Shreyas being a better player of spinners among all these guys, so that will be a good, easy kind of game for him to get into the groove is what I feel. Let him take a few balls to get a bit set. But once he's set, we know how dangerous Shreyas can be.
Yeah.
Same way how Rahul was eased in,
Rahul was versus
uh,
Pakistan.
where we
Yeah.
got a good start and he got time to settle down. And once he got set, only then the big shots came. So it's because here it's no pressure game for India here. So that kind of a mental stress won't be there. Just go out and play your natural game. So it'll be easier kind of a transition for Shreyas from being unfit to getting into the groove, leading into the World Cup rather than straight away against Australian team where again the pressure will be there. How will you start and all the media and the fans will be chatting up.
Yeah.
At least if he gets a game today, he can always say that I just had a knock a week ago and getting into the groove. So looking at that kind of thinking, I hope Shreyas plays today. But against whom
See,
or for whom,
yeah.
maybe a Virat or a Shubman, one of them can take a rest or put Ishan up the order, something like that to give everybody a flexible batting order maybe today. Let's see. It's
So,
Rahul Dravid and Kosetic.
so you're definitely sticking with me for the two paces being rested, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Siraj and Jassi, keep them in cotton wool, man. In key games only we need them. Shami is equally a potent bowler, we do know. Shardul's the guy with golden arm, always picks wickets. Uh, try something here and there, short balls or the cross seam kind of ones. Prasid, again, has bowled well in the T20s in Ireland. But for me, he has been his rhythm. If he is in rhythm, he'll hit the deck, get a lot extra bounce. But
Correct.
also at times,
Absolutely correct.
his problem is at times overstepping when he's coming back. So you don't want to give those free hits and stuff in a modern day cricket, man. If Prasid kind of works on that, he's a gun bowler too. He can get you those wickets in the middle overs. So with that height, I think he does that role what Plunkett used to do for England. Ball in the middle,
Yeah,
all those back of line deliveries, get the ball to hit high on the bat. He needs to improve his death bowling a little bit though. But with the new ball in the middle overs, crack a guy who can pick you wickets.
yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely correct. So you're saying that Surya doesn't play, Tilak doesn't play today?
Surya definitely should play, man. Yesterday was his birthday. I think he deserves a go there.
That's the
Tilak,
reason.
no.
That
Uh,
that's the reason why I played. I
yeah.
was thinking of
Tilak,
Tilak for Ishan as well, left to left combination.
Tilak, I'll keep him in the Australia series. I'll give him a couple of games, is what I feel, because he bowls a bit of off spin. None of these batters in our top five or six bowl. So he can be groomed in, because some may not play the entire series, I feel, leading into the Australia series, because the warm up games also start immediately. So you never know with the senior players of ours who want to rotate at times. So someone like Tilak can get in the last ODI or some place just to get a feel of the team also in ODIs. So I'll keep him in the mix. Maybe not today though.
Okay, so this is the playing 11 that. So you're saying Surya plays, Shreyas plays,
Mm-hmm.
Shami plays, Prasidh plays, and you want Akshar maybe for Jaddu, but considering the batting, there's not.
Mm.
So it's all like to like. At least we are expecting three changes, but
Yeah.
unless we get surprised that Rohit Sharma rests himself as well, then
That
that
also
could
was
be an.
possible. I actually was thinking that way if Hardik wants to lead, and but Hardik himself wants a rest, I feel.
Yeah, Hardik wants a rest. Hardik also wants. That's the reason his
Unless
name is.
Virat wants to skip.
Then I'll be loving to see that.
Yeah,
But let's go back to any other questions. Yeah, there's a question from one of the fans. Let's go back to Bangladesh saying that who's looking as a future captain for Bangladesh after Sakib? This is a very good question. I feel Sakim performs better as without captaincy pressure. Do you agree, Rohan? And if yes, then
definitely.
who do you see as a backup captain?
Backup, someone who was impressed last time also was someone like Litan Das. Um, as a keeper, again, he has a good view of the ground and know of the conditions as well. Cool guy, very calm, sensible. Was picked in the IPL. I don't think he got much game for KKR. I think he was there, right?
Yeah, he played one game
Yeah,
where he missed the stumping of
yeah,
Delhi
true.
Capitals and
So
straight away off.
yeah, and I remember, So Litton, I think, is pretty good choice for them after Shakib moves on. But currently, apart from him, maybe in the future, as we are saying, someone like Tawid Ruday can take
Yeah,
over.
correct. And I completely agree because I am excited to see how Torre gets used to, especially I think he is smart enough to play the red ball cricket as well.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
can be definitely given a chance if there is a spot in the playing 11. A fan says that ODI cricket is peaking at the right time.
yep.
Absolutely. We are
I mean,
today
all
we have
places, man,
three.
not just Asia Cup. We saw in
That's what I was about to say. That
Australia.
we have
Yeah,
three games today, and
Super
three
Friday.
of them are really big. Australia versus South Africa. How big a game? That's going to as many runs as possible. 350 plus is nothing out there. And similar to England versus New Zealand,
New
Ben
Zealand.
Stokes was about to score another double hundred. So unfortunately, he couldn't, and Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill are in safe hands. So uh, he's saying that next question or next opinion is that Bangladesh will prefer split captaincy or one captain for all formats. This is a question. One captain for all formats, I'm not too keen because
Yeah,
I would not want to give one captain because that's for big guns like Rohit Sharma or even Australia or even England do not have one
yeah,
captain for the format. So that's another question. But I think you can keep the likes of Shakib as a test captain and
mm.
have the likes of Litton as the white ball captain. I think that will be good enough. What's your opinion for
Yeah,
Rohan?
yeah, I
Will you?
completely agree on that. I think they have
Yeah,
someone like
even
Mominul also in the mix in the Test cricket.
Mominul
So
Haq was there, but I don't know where is he. Even Shomo Sharkar, I was
uh,
about to ask. I was asking about Shakya, even Tamim. There, where is Shomo Sharkar? I don't know. He was
Somesh
playing at
Sarkar was in
some
emerging trophy.
emerging
I don't know
Asia.
what he was there for.
He was in the emerging Asia Cup at the age of 31. So that's absolutely correct. But there you go. Next question from Priyanka says that will the Indian team be laid back today considering they are already playing the finals on Sunday? That's a question.
How can anyone be laid back, man? I mean, the guys who will be playing will be the team. I mean, the players who will be the who are on the bench. So they would like to prove something for themselves also. So that makes that headache of selection a bit more tougher for the management, right? So if all are informed, that's a better headache to have than whom to pick, right? So all these likes of Surya, Shreyas, Shami, they all want to impress and be the choices in the first 11 leading into the World Cup, right? So everybody would like to impress for them. So laid back, I don't think will be the word for the day. Definitely.
Yeah, I think she was rather referring to the consideration of chopping and changing, of giving others an opportunity, and that could be a factor because this game has no, as we
Yeah.
said before, does not have any value as such. But we have to take each and every game as a World Cup preparation, to be
Yeah.
honest. So we have to be serious in our preparations, and we have discussed this before, and there is another question of the same. Rohan, once again, if you can say for this fan, was the ideal to choose after winning the toss today, if especially? We have discussed this before, but still, if you want to say it.
Yeah, as I said, yesterday there was a game, and today also on the same pitch the game will be played. So since it's a used pitch, you would like to bat first and make sure make the best of the conditions, because as the game progresses, the ball may stop and spin a lot more. So chasing will be difficult under lights especially. But India has always been batting first throughout this tournament, so I would like to chase so that in case the eventuality happens in the final, we'll be prepared with knowing both the sides of the coin, you can say, batting first and bowling, so that we'll be better prepared is what I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I even agree to that. Yes, there is no rain predictions today. Fingers
Never
crossed,
know,
we do
never
not
know,
have the.
Sri Lanka.
But as per Google, there is no rain predictions today. It's time to end the show. Thank you so much, Rohan, for being part. Once
Thank
again,
you.
it's never ending for both of us. You have always been there, and thank you so much. And each and every one of you have been part of this live show with your comments and everything. Thank you so much. We have enjoyed this. We'll definitely catch up tomorrow, probably in 9 p.m. For the Blockbuster Asia Cup final. And till then, thank you so much, Rohan, and each and every one of you. And let's enjoy this game between India and Pakistan. Thank you so much. Bye bye.